Hey guys, what's going on? What's up? So, I haven't worked all week, which is kind of making me nervous because I'm not getting a paycheck for this week. Uh, Not really by choice, but because my job can't really afford to keep me on right now. Uh, so I the other day I went to get um groceries and stuff at Walmart, and they had some like reasonably cheap like pork bones for dogs. And so I have five dogs, right? And they were like $2.50 or something a piece, like $3 or something with tax. So I grabbed five of them, and I was like, it's all almost Christmas. I'll get the dogs some bones, and I might get them some more, you know, for Christmas or whatever. Because it wasn't going to break the bank or anything, and I'm not really able to get them stuff very often. Like, I kind of owe them some toys. Like, I have a dog, Oscar, that really likes soft things, which is funny because he's like always trying to fight the other dogs and stuff. But like, he's kind of a big softy. Um, and so Jack, the hound dog, ate his bone, and then when I wasn't looking, he also ate the Chihuahua's bone, and that made the Chihuahua very sad, and that kind of threw off my whole day, because it happened like first thing in the morning. Like, I went and took them on a walk, and then I went and fed them and all, and then I like gave them all bones this morning, and I was like, I felt like relief, I think, because I don't do enough nice things for them really, and I was kind of excited that like they were going to be happy, and then the Chihuahua was like visibly upset, that his bone got eaten when I wasn't looking, and it made me think. I've been thinking about this a little bit lately, actually. That like I had a strange childhood because it had like different phases. Like when I was born in Florida, and my parents had like a shack basically in Navarre, Florida, with no running water, or I don't think they even had electricity. My dad, they might have had electricity. I don't remember. But my dad was making like $20 a day, working for this dude or whatever. And I was born on Christmas, and my mom started having contractions, and my granddad was at the house. He was he had paranoid schizophrenia, but he was a funny dude, and he was always nice to me. And he was like counting my mom's contractions, like with tally marks or something. And my dad was gonna, go take her to the hospital, and the truck wouldn't start. So he went to his friend's junkyard and stole the part that he needed, and came back and put it in his truck so that he could take my mom to the hospital. And my mom had me. It took forever, and I didn't mean to do this. Obviously, I was like a fetus. I was like an infant, a newborn. But I broke her pelvis somehow, or maybe the doctor did. I don't know. Her pelvis broke. Her pelvic bone broke giving birth to me, and I think, if I remember right, the doctors kind of had to like pull me out because I just wasn't coming out. So then we moved to Brownsville, Pensacola, which is like pretty much a ghetto. Like it's pretty you know, kind of dangerous. Not really a great place to live or anything. Not terrible, I guess, but like there was a lot of, ghetto stuff going on. And then I turned like, 4 or 5, and my mom didn't want me going to Brownsville Elementary because it was like a rough neighborhood and all. So we moved to this place. It was in a different school zone, um, and it wasn't like a ghetto really, but it wasn't like nice either. It was kind of just a bunch of brick houses on this kind of kind of side road. It wasn't bad at all. Um, and we stayed there until like I think it was like, well, until I was like 14 and we moved to South Carolina. And my dad at that point had started a cabinet shop, a cabinet business, and he was making good money. He was making like $50,000 a job or something. If I'm remembering right. And the thing is it's like I say like I grew up in the ghetto, but it's kind of more complicated than that. It wasn't like the ghetto necessarily, but we lived in and around Pensacola, and Pensacola is like a small city. It's not like a big city like Atlanta or something, but it's like a small city. So the suburbs of a small city are different than like the suburbs of a big city. And there was a lot of like ghetto like behavior in and around Pensacola. So it's not really the ghetto, but it kind of felt like it sometimes. And my dad was crazy, and he like it didn't matter so much that he was making a lot of money. Like there were still times where we didn't really have enough stuff, like food and stuff. Like I mean, we always had like enough food. Like we were never going like days without eating or anything. But I, I I remember when I was a kid, like there was this one Halloween where um I don't remember how old I was. I was like pretty young, but this kid, this my one of my dad's friends, the guy actually that owned the junkyard, he came by trick or treating with his kid, and my dad gave his kid the last muffin thing with the with a candy corn on it. And I don't know why I was I wanted it so bad, but I didn't say anything because I was like shy and I was like kind of used to getting yelled at. And I remember I just cried and cried and cried. And it wasn't like, and then like we ate a lot of like lima beans and rice and stuff like that. That like to be real, like if my dad wasn't so mean all the time, I probably would have been okay with the lima beans. But it was so often because it's cheap, and it was so gross the way he cooked them. They were like slimy and big, and they were the big ones, and they were like just slimy and gross. And they were with like white rice every time. And white rice is so boring; it's just like filler. I don't understand people that like white rice. Like, what is there to like about white rice? Really, it's like liking bread. It's like it's bread. It's just filler. It's like the stuff in the sandwich that matters, not the bread. I don't know. I might be wrong about this, but that's kind of how I've always felt about it. But so I know it kind of sounds like I'm just whining because like it wasn't that bad and like a lot of other kids had it worse than I did, I guess. But it was bad in like subtle ways, I guess. I don't know. I like we would get my dad would take me fishing and stuff, which sounds like it would be a good thing, but it really wasn't. I hated it because he was like yelling at me the whole time always and stuff like that. And and so we would get like a ton of fish because he threw a cast net and he would catch like 20 of them at a time or something. And we would go home and eat it, but like it always felt like there was some kind of scarcity, you know, like it was like don't waste anything, you know, like eat everything on your plate or else. And I like when when I grew up, my brothers came over one Christmas, and because it's a long story, but they were living with my dad, and I had kind of followed my mom to Florida, and my brothers came over, and they started telling us like how bad my dad had been being to them, and he had been like getting drunk and going into their rooms in the middle of the night and like challenging them to duels to the death and shit. And so we got like emergency custody of them and went into like a custody battle to get, you know, custody of my little brothers. And we won, but when I started noticing when they had moved in with us that they were like food aggressive. Like they would literally almost get into fights about stuff in the fridge and like literally almost get into actual fist fights over like the first piece of pizza or the biggest piece of pizza. They were all obsessed with pizza for some reason. And and I'm kind of food aggressive, like a stray dog kind of. Like I've noticed that about myself. Like I had a cat one time. I was babysitting these cats. I had a cat that I really liked, but he got into my food when I wasn't looking one day. I was like playing a video game or something, and I straight up almost strangled the cat before I even like realized what I was doing. I just freaked out, and it sounds like we had plenty growing up. Like my dad made plenty of money, you know, after a certain point. My mom just bought us whatever video games and stuff we wanted. But for some reason, it just always felt like there wasn't like food was not. Maybe it's like gross food was plentiful, you know, like lima beans and shit, but like the good food was rare or something. I don't know what the deal is. Like I don't know what my problem is. But but I know that I have this like food insecurity now that I'm grown, and I I don't know exactly how it happened, but like I think it was probably a few things like building up working together to make me this way. And it kind of like growing up like that kind of changes who how you live your life afterwards, you know, like I'm kind of a pack rat now. Like I like to be stocked up on food, like canned food and ramen and stuff. And like mayonnaise, like I eat a ton of mayonnaise and eggs and, you know, just everything. But I can't do that right now because I'm just broke. I'm not getting like enough work to really to stay afloat, much less like support my drinking problem and all. And so when Jack ate the Chihuahua's bone, first thing in the morning, I got like really thrown off. Like I was kind of scared that like my whole day was thrown off then, because I know what that feels like to like be excited for something and then it goes away. Like I think that I have like an actual trauma around disappointment. Like I will not let myself be disappointed about things because it's just too much. Like it's too much of a intense emotion, you know. Even if even if like I could have something probably, but there's like a risk that I won't be able to have it. I just won't let myself get excited about it, you know. And there's a lot of things in my life that I just pass up on. Like I just don't let myself feel excited because I'm scared that it's gonna go away. Or or like if something like that happens, like how Jack ate the Chihuahua's bone, you know. If something like that happens, I'll usually just like immediately fix it. Like you know, buy extra of a thing, or in case like I drop it or something, or you know, like if something like that happened normally with like a thing that that is like finite, you know, that I don't have extra of, I'll just go get another one real quick. But and I would be doing that now, except Walmart's like 45 minutes away, and I'm not doing that today. But I already put it back on the grocery list. Like I'm going to get the Chihuahua another bone now, and I've already planned out like how I'm gonna keep Jack from eating, and I'm gonna put it in my lap. I'm gonna put the Chihuahua in my lap. That way he can eat it in my lap, and the other dogs can't get it. And then when he's not eating it, I'll just put it back up, and he can let me know when he wants it. You know, something like that. But it's such an intense feeling when like one time I was like a teenager, right? And I was like shy and stuff, but and I was kind of like trying to be a tough guy, I think, a lot in my teenage years, because I thought like that was kind of how my dad was, and I thought that like that's what you're supposed to do as like a male human, is be a tough guy. But I remember there was one night that I made this ice cream. I'm not even big into ice cream. Like I'm not like a big sweet person, but at that point, like that night, for some reason, I just really wanted ice cream, and I made this like I put so much stuff on there. There was like granola or something, and like chocolate stuff and milk and like freaking like cherries or something. I don't remember what the hell I did, but I freaking dropped it and started crying, and I was like a young adult basically at this point. And it was like, and I'm not even that big into ice cream. It just the feeling of being excited about something and then losing it is just so, it's like I don't even know how to I don't even know how to describe it. It's like soul crushing. And I don't know if that's just because that happened so much to me as a kid, because I think that my dad had like narcissistic personality disorder or something, right? And he would look for, because he was mentally ill, he would like look for opportunities to make me upset about something, to like get a reaction out of me or something, I guess. Like I remember we went to the store one time and I wanted this video game, and like he had the money and everything. And it was it was Prince of Persia 3, because I really liked the Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time, and the second one was really good, and I wanted to play the third one. But in the rating, like, where it says like blood and gore and intense violence and strong language and all that, in that game for some reason it said nudity, and I've played the game like through like a whole bunch of times. There's no nudity in the game, at least not that I was able to find. But when we were at the store, the the kid that was, I think they had to like unlock the box or something to get the game out or whatever. I don't remember. But we were about to buy it, and my dad read the box, and in front of this other guy, because we were in front of this other guy, he looks down at me and he's like, in this weird voice too, like he was like, it was strange. He was like, I guess you're gonna have to find a new favorite game. And I was like, for one, that like I never said that was my favorite game. He's just saying that because he wants me to be embarrassed, like I'm a pervert or something in front of this other guy, because there's nudity in the game, apparently, allegedly. and and it was like, that wasn't even like I mean, it was a little bit of a disappointment, but the big thing with that was like I was just mortified. I was like embarrassed, but at the same time, like, I didn't really care that much what that kid or whatever at Walmart thought about me. What kind of freaked me out is like how how like desperate almost my dad was to find ways to like make me feel bad about things. And like, I love my mom a lot. I have a not a great relationship with my mom, but like, I love my mom. We don't really talk that much. Part of that's my fault because she's been messaging me, and I just haven't messaged her back because we tend to butt heads a lot. But like, growing up, she would use embarrassment as a weapon, like, pretty consistently. That was like one of her favorite uh, forms of punishment, was just embarrassment. She'd make me feel like absolutely horrible about things. And I don't know how I got from like not having enough food or not having the right food or whatever I was talking about to this, but I think we're just going to go with it. Um so I think it ties together, actually. I just don't know how. I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. I have a lot of neuroses, I think. Neuroses. Neuroses is a fun word. Um, I like saying it. It kind of makes me feel like I look intelligent or something. But so like now I get embarrassed really easily, like I'm really shy, and and I have this weird like food insecurity. But I've been like getting better, like I know that I can get in the car and go buy more food if I need to. Um but like times like this where I don't have any extra money for anything but like, beer. Like for example, like if I dropped my beer and the bottle broke, I would just immediately get in the car and go get another one. Unless I was already drunk. Like, what would be bad is if I was too drunk to drive and then I broke the beer, but I wasn't drunk enough yet to be like happy, with how drunk I am. It's really difficult to grow up like I grew up, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't know. But it changes how you it changes like I'm pretty sure it's permanent, or at least semi-permanent. Like I feel like I can go to the store and get more stuff, but there's always like that part of me that is like, we cannot let this fall on the floor, or we cannot let this break, or we cannot um let this go to waste, or we can't, you know what I mean. And I just I don't really know if there's a way to fix it necessarily. Like, I should probably talk to my therapist about it, but to be real, like my me and my therapist don't really talk about my trauma and stuff very much. It's really more like life coach life coach stuff. Like, it seems like we talk more about like what kind of progress I'm making in life and all that kind of, that kind of stuff. And I imagined when I first went to the mental health clinic to like get help, I imagined that it would be more like talking about my past and trying to like figure out like a mindset or something to like, make things easier or something. I don't know. Or like hypnosis or something. I don't know what I was imagining, to be real, but it's not this. This isn't bad, but it's just not like what I thought it was going to be. So, but I'm pretty sure that he's literally the only therapist that is in this like program or whatever that I'm in, where it's like a state funded thing locally or whatever. I don't know how it works. But like, I guess there's a difference in like growing up in a neighborhood that is ghetto and growing up and growing up in a neighborhood that's like a suburb sort of, but with a family that's ghetto. I don't know. And I guess there like I guess there's a difference between not having enough and having enough, but it sucks, and like you don't have enough of the things you 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 like, because it really wouldn't have cost that much more money to just like feed us stuff that we actually liked and not, gross lima beans. And my dad used to make these banana pancakes, and they were just too it was too much banana. You know what I mean? And he would make so many of them, and I would be in so much trouble. Like, he would scream in my face if I didn't eat all of it, you know? And like I would be sitting there feeling like I was about to puke. Like, I don't think I will ever touch banana pancakes again. And I just like there's a difference between these things, but it kind of still gives you the same result. Like, I don't like being around people yelling at all anymore. Like, it freaks me out. Like, I just want to get away. And um and now I'm like, food I have like a food insecurity. And um and uh, and I think I'm starting to develop like a financial insecurity because I've never really worried about money so much. I just figured I'd be fine even if I was homeless or something. But now I have 5 dogs and a cat, and I can't just be homeless now. Like, I have to take care of the animals. And making enough money to to do everything I need to do is just exhausting. It's just absolutely exhausting. And then I got to deal with like jobs like this that don't like they're not consistent, they don't pay very much. It's like the holidays, and I am not even working right now because there's just no money to pay me with. So it's like, I don't know, but like and subscribe. I guess if you like the video, and y'all have a good one, and I'll see you later. Bye.